It seemed like I was going to die. But no one cared. What will I become in my next life? Kittens, puppies, grass, trees. All good. Just stop being a human being. It really hurts. 1. 你去哪? I hugged my knees and huddled in the corner of the sofa. Shin Qingye stood in front of the door. Only a silhouette of my back was left. I opened my mouth again. He turned back like a charity. In a dark room, he glanced up at me. His eyes were cold, like broken glass. Pieces stuck into my body. Let me swallow the rest of the words. There was a slamming of the door. It lingered in the empty room for a long time. He left anyway. Are you tired of me already? Don't even want to say one more word to me. I looked at the withered roses on the table. I seemed to be rotting away like this bunch of flowers, abandoned by the whole world. Even in the end, I held on to Shin Qingye with all my strength. All were snatched away. My husband, he doesn't love me anymore. He must think that I am a vicious, scheming, bad woman. I don't know how long it took before I raised my drooped head, like rusty gears stuck in bone. That moment, it felt like I was back in the orphanage again. Tuck yourself into a corner. It's like shrinking yourself and hiding it. This way no one will find out. You won't be bullied or hurt anymore. In this way, I have the security I have always longed for. People like me, it's not worthy of being loved. Yes, the things I did, not worth being forgiven. The heart was crumpled, as if it had been crushed into pieces, then unfolded and flattened to the ground. Let people step on and crush them. I stretched out my cold, bloodless hands. It trembled and slowly settled on my belly. It's so soft here. There once was a living little life inside. It's amazing when you think about it. But the only baby I have in this world, the only family that could possibly love me, he also left me quietly. So lonely. I was like a drowning person, trying hard to grab the water plants on the shore with both hands. But I only caught a handful of duckweed. I really want to have a child of my own. I will give him all the best things in the world. From his babbling to toddler. Grow up little by little and learn to call mom. I also named her Sway Sway. Every year comes true. But I lost her. None of these beautiful wishes will come true. Mrs. Gu. This identity should have been that of the elder sister. I grabbed something that didn't belong to me in the first place. Everything I endure now. This is all the punishment I deserve. I don't know how long it took. I finally had the strength to get up. There was a click. I pressed the lighter and lit the photo in my hand. Shin Qingye doesn't like taking pictures. The only photo between us is this wedding photo. The two figures in the photo were distorted by the flames, finally turned into a pile of ashes, then burned. And my love, too. I filled the bathtub with water. Then he closed his eyes and sank in. The water temperature is just right. I felt my body being enveloped in warmth. Is this happiness? Consciousness is getting blurry. I seem to be back in my mother's body, back to when nothing happened. If only I had never been born. That way, it won't become a drag on my mother and become the garbage she wants to get rid of. Just before I fell into a deep sleep, the phone rang. I didn't answer, but the phone rang again and again. I struggled to sit up from the bathtub, breathing in air suddenly. After breathing gradually calms down, I picked up the phone and answered it. Wait. My voice was so hoarse that it felt strange to me. An irritable and angry voice came from the other end of the phone. What are you doing? Why haven't you answered the phone for so long? 有事吗? I watched the water ripple in the bathtub. Hurry up and come to the hospital. Yao Yao's condition has worsened. The doctor said she needs a kidney transplant. My mother's voice on the phone was sobbed. My mouth opened, but no sound came out. Are you listening? Mom asked. Don't talk nonsense to her and ask her to come over and match her style quickly. Yao Yao can't wait any longer. Dad's impatient voice came. 可嗨嗨. There was still some water in my lungs just now, and I coughed uncontrollably. Why are you coughing so badly? I'm telling you, don't pretend to be sick. It's useless. Get over here quickly. 我知道了. I hang up. He stood up from the bathtub and stepped on the cold and slippery floor with his bare feet. I looked in the mirror, wet and naked. Pale and thin self. I ran my hands over my skin. Finally, it stops at the kidneys. Donate a kidney? Okay. It can help Gu Yao and let her survive. This can be considered my value. I should atone for my sins. I didn't expect this tattered body. She can also play her final role. 3. When I got to the hospital, my parents paced anxiously back and forth at the door of the ward. They see me. His eyes lit up in an instant. My mother asked me displeasedly, "Why are you so slow?" My expression remained unchanged. Looked at her coldly. Her anxious expression. It seems like it has never been revealed to me. Mom, I am your daughter too, right? Look, I didn't say anything. My dad gritted his teeth and came up to pull my arm. He looks like this again. Stop acting and come with me for a matching check. You are Yao Yao's biological sister, so your kidney can definitely be successfully matched. His last words seemed to be spoken to himself. Give yourself comfort and encouragement. It sounded extremely harsh to me. Dad, do you also know that I am your sister's biological sister and your biological daughter? I glanced at the ward. Lying on the hospital bed was Gu Yao, who was sobbing. Beside her, it's my husband, Shen Qingye. Shen Qingye held her hand. 放心，阿瑶，有我. I'm ready, but my heart still twitched. It still hurts. I lowered my eyes. I didn't see the shock and confusion in Shen Qingye's eyes after seeing me. Did you come here to see your sister when you went out? 你可以跟我说的. I spoke. 慢慢，我. I was dragged away by my father forcefully. Didn't hear what Shen Qingye said. He shouldn't be able to explain it to me. He hates me so much. But see him here. My heart still hurts. When I was injured or when I had a miscarriage, he never came to the hospital to see me. She didn't take care of me like she took care of my sister. I also firmly believed that I would never be sad again. But at this moment, I was still sad and aggrieved. Sore eyes. I was dragged to the blood draw center by my anxious father. The area where his arm was pinched was red and blue. I want to cry. I don't know if it's because I saw Shen Qingye being so kind to his sister. It was still because my father pinched my arm. Or maybe it was because such a thick needle was inserted into my body and blood was drawn out one by one. But it seemed that the tears in my eyes had long since dried up. Can't cry. 4. Hands that were already pale. Because I just had my blood drawn. Becoming more sick and miserable. I put my hand on my sister's head. Compared with her, I really looked like a corpse. The person on the hospital bed was sleeping deeply. Shen Qingye has left. I stroked my sister's face, which looked similar to mine. Sighing. A substitute is a substitute. No matter how much I imitate. I can't become her. There is no way to make Shen Qingye fall in love with me. What are you doing? Mom dropped the hot water bottle in her hand. With a bang, it exploded again. She yelled at me roughly. He rushed up and pushed me away. I was too slow to dodge and lost my balance and fell to the ground. His hand was pressed against the broken glass. I just want to help my sister fix her hair. I couldn't care less about the pain in my hands. He got up from the ground in embarrassment. 你最好是. Mom snorted coldly. You are a child who has been petty and evil since you were young. You might do something to Yao Yao. I hid my bloody hands behind my back, like a kid who did something wrong. Dad rushed into the room excitedly. 慢慢呢? After he saw me, he was obviously stunned for a moment. It seemed that he was shocked by the deathly aura on my body. But it was only for a moment. Back to normal again. There was unconcealable excitement in his tone. He shook my shoulders. He lowered his voice excitedly. Great, Man-Man's match is successful. Our Yao Yao is saved. Mom had tears in her eyes. They took me out of the ward. Afraid of waking her sister, she finally fell asleep. The doctor comes. Ask Dad. Is anyone here? Dad pushed me to the doctor. When the doctor saw my face, his face was ashen, shaking his head firmly. 不行. 他不能见审. 5. Dr. Zhao and I were sitting in his office. He invited his parents, who were agitated and out of control, out. Gu Man, are you crazy? I said nothing, sitting there clasping his fingers. He said to me anxiously again, how can you donate a kidney to others with a body like yours? I think you really don't want to live anymore. I raised my head and stared into his eyes. Dr. Zhao. I think I can still make the decision about my own body. He was silent for a while, then let out a long sigh. Not long after you had the miscarriage, you fell ill again. You are not suitable for kidney donation. I stood up and still stared at him. 放心，我不会死的. Just because we grew up in the same orphanage. 帮我一次，我一定要救活姐姐. I turned and left, very determined. Behind, it was Dr. Zhao, who had always been calm and composed, who made the sound of throwing something. Sorry, just think of me as moral kidnapping. He will definitely fulfill my wish. 6. It turned out that before the kidney transplant surgery, there are so many checks to be done. I wore a hospital gown and shuttled between floors, queuing and checking. The smell of hospital disinfectant that I hate most is on my clothes. I don't know how much blood was drawn. How many times did you lie down in front of the instrument? Finally finished checking. I returned to the ward. Stopped at the door. A warm scene of a family of 3 staying together in front of my sister's bed. It stung my eyes. Mom is peeling apples for my sister. Dad is trying to make faces to make his sister happy. My sister also smiled. What a wonderful family. It's just me. Wait for me to leave. Wait for my sister to recover from her illness. They can truly live happily without any burden. They were all immersed in the happy atmosphere. No one noticed that I stood here for a long time. I coughed lightly. Catch their attention. Dad asked me, have all the examinations been completed? I nodded. When will the results come out? My mother asked me, 还不知道. I answered quietly. My sister raised her head and looked at me. After their eyes met, she seemed to be burned again. Quickly dodge. The sister who was smiling just now lowered her head and stopped talking. Mom felt the low pressure in the ward, and the visibly stressed and unhappy mood emanating from my baby girl. She spoke. 行了，慢慢，你回去吧. Go and prepare the things you need for the hospital. I nodded. I looked at the hanging bottle my sister was hanging. Drop by drop. The only nostalgia I have left for this world. It also passed away bit by bit. The sun is still shining brightly outside the window. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I'm still standing in the shadows. I once thought that the sun would shine on me. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. But God doesn't seem to favor me. My whole life. They all live in this shadow. I was about to turn around and leave. But he was stopped by his sister. Man, Jingye gave this to me. After thinking about it, you should take it back for him. I can't accept something he has carried with him for so long, so selfishly. I turned around and saw the one my sister is holding. Peace buckle necklace. Stunned. This is the first gift I gave him. It was the time when Jingye fell ill, and I went to Tibet to perform prostrations. Take 3 steps and 1 step along the road. Knocked his head. Amulet of protection and peace prayed for him. I don't know if God saw my sincere obeisance and wish. When I put the safety buckle on Jingye's neck, it didn't take long. He woke up from his coma. He has been wearing this safety buckle ever since. He said this would keep him safe for the rest of his life. I didn't expect that he would give this thing to his sister. Say no. You really love her. Love her so much that you will give everything you have, right? I'm so jealous. I reached out my hand and took the safety buckle. The cold touch of jade can be felt in the palm of the hand. I greedily tried to absorb his body temperature from it. But nothing can be touched. How? I hold the safety buckle. Turn around and walk out of the ward. My mother's scolding voice came from behind me. Jingye gave you such an important thing just to hope that you would be safe and sound. Why did you return it? Mom, I hope he is safe. That's all. After all, when you get better, Jingye will marry Man. By then, you will be the legitimate Mrs. Shen. The sound follows my footsteps. Slowly fade away. All the sounds around him turned into a sharp and harsh hum. Finally, it seemed to turn into a tiny insect. Get into my ears. It's buzzing and fluttering in my head. So be it. I have been mentally prepared for a long time. I have owned Jingye for so long. They should have been together a long time ago. Isn't it? 7. Shun Group. I was stopped by the new front desk girl. 不好意思，女士，您不能进去. I have something to do with Shen Jingye. I didn't bring my cell phone with me. Please help me tell him. The receptionist looked at me like a crazy woman. Don't blame her either. It must be scary how skinny and bloodless I look now. 你是谁啊? She sounded impatient. I am your president's wife. She suddenly burst into laughter as if she had heard the funniest joke in the world. Then he rolled his eyes at me. Let me leave quickly and don't stand here. I stood outside the company gate, waiting for Shen Jingye to get off work. I'm so tired, my body can't hold it any longer. I squatted in the corner, holding the safety buckle in his hand. It's so cold. I don't know how long I squatted. I was woken up by shouting and cursing. Damn it, who doesn't have a good idea to ask the CEO's wife to wait here? The person who spoke was Shen Jingye's assistant. He hurriedly came up to help me up and took me to Shen Jingye's office. Shen Jingye frowned when he saw me. I took out the safety buckle pendant, handed it to him. Sister asked me to give this to you. He saw this thing. His expression became even more impatient. He made no move. He must have disliked me for being nosy, so I took back the gift he gave to my sister. He probably still feels it in his heart. I am a petty and jealous woman. This is just a way for me to win favor. I said nothing. Put something on his desk. Turned to leave. 你等一下. Shen Jingye called me. I was a little surprised. 怎么了? He was silent for a long time before he opened his mouth. At the hospital, the result. He didn't finish his sentence. He was interrupted by the loud ringing of mobile phones on the table. He answered the phone and said hurriedly, 好，你等等你先拖住他. I knew what he was going to ask. He wanted to ask, has the matching been successful at the hospital? I answered, 配型成功了. Shen Jingye glanced at me and covered the receiver of the phone. Man, please go home. I have something urgent to deal with. I heard that the matching was successful. His tone softened towards me. Be gentle. I smiled bitterly. Are you afraid that if you anger me, I won't donate a kidney to Guyao? Don't worry, Shen Jingye. You love her so much. I will make your dreams come true. It was a mistake for us to be together. It's time to get you back on track. 慢慢，照顾好自己. I opened the door and left without looking back. I'm so tired. How can you take care of yourself? 等我回来. These were the last words Jingye said to me. Still an empty room. I went home and found that Shin Xingye had someone bring me a sumptuous meal. He wanted me to get well before the surgery. Replenish your energy. I'm afraid there might be something wrong with my body. Gu Yao is really hopeless. I couldn't eat it all. Still forcing myself to swallow these nutritious meals. Can't vomit. Must not vomit. Swallow it. I ended up finishing the chicken soup. He actually fell asleep while lying on the sofa. The curtains were not drawn. The dazzling sunlight outside shines on my face. I woke up. The empty room was still quiet. Shun Qingya didn't come back. I suddenly felt extremely lonely. It would have been nice to have a kitten at that time. At least there will be a little life by my side to accompany me now. I began to fantasize about having a fluffy kitten on my lap. It stretched out in the sun. Show your round, soft belly, and let me touch it. He also rubs my hand. I was immersed in the world I had created in my imagination. A sudden awakening. There are no kittens around me. Just a cold room. But I am a little lucky. Fortunately, I don't have a cat. Otherwise, wait until I leave. Who will take care of it? I would definitely not trust anyone to raise my kitten. The kitten who loves me so much would like to see me disappear. It must be very sad. Fortunately, I don't have a cat. Fortunately, there is no one in this world who cares about me. Otherwise, I'm leaving. How sad they must be. 9. When I received a call from my mother. Everything is ready. She urged me to go and complete the admission procedures. I responded softly. Don't worry, I will never go back on what I promised. Hear me say that. The other party seemed to be relieved. When arriving at the hospital, I took the admission notice from the general ward. Stunned for a moment. Mom looked at my expression. Said hastily, I'm sorry, man. The beds in the high-end ward upstairs are full, and Yao Yao almost didn't stay in it. It's the last room for her. I nodded. Didn't expose her lie. It has been like this since childhood. My sister always gets the best. Everything I got was what she didn't want and wanted to throw away. I've long been used to it. I said nothing, turning to look out the window. The cherry blossoms outside are about to bloom. After spring, the weather gradually becomes warmer. All things revive. Everything is getting better. I don't know if I will have time to see the cherry blossoms blooming for the last time. The first time I met Shin Qingya was under the cherry blossom tree. He's so good looking. Long eyelashes, high bridge of nose. And those eyes that seemed to melt all warmth. He was waiting for his sister under the tree. Waited for a long time. When I reached my shoulders, my head was covered with fallen cherry blossom petals. When you are young, you cannot meet someone who is too amazing. Otherwise, you will waste your life. Why does this child seem to be unable to speak? The same is true with his family. He has no emotions at all. Dad's words brought me back from my thoughts. You said that even if it is a dog, it can be raised well. Why is she always so cold and cold? No one cares. My mother was shocked to realize that my father had made a mistake and pushed him. I know he was afraid that I would be irritated and refused to donate a kidney to my sister in anger. I smiled lightly. My mother didn't react much when she saw me. I pulled my dad and said to me, you should rest first. We're going upstairs. We'll see you again when we have time. Huh. They left. Every patient in the ward is accompanied by someone. Everyone is taken care of. Only the surroundings of my hospital bed were empty. The aunt in the next bed saw them leaving. He muttered something quietly. Are these still the biological parents? The child will have surgery tomorrow. I'll just take a look and leave. Isn't that so? How can you be so embarrassed to come here empty-handed? Oh, this little sister is so pitiful. They talked in a few words, but I didn't feel much. So many worse things have happened before than this. I got through it all. This is nothing. Moreover, I have no desire to live anymore. People don't even want their own lives anymore. Do you still want the love of others? 10. Today is the day of surgery. I took off my underwear and put on the surgical gown prepared by the hospital. The upper body is wearing clothes backwards. Lying on the hospital bed, I stared at the ceiling in a daze. His eyes were dazed. Shun Kinjio. Still didn't come. Doesn't he even want to see me? He should be upstairs with his sister at this time. I will definitely still hold her hand. Tell her, come on, don't be afraid. It's just a minor surgery. Just take it as a nap, and you'll be fine when you wake up. I put my hands up. What's holding me is only air. At this time, I will still look forward to it without giving up. I look forward to Shin Qingye coming to see me, even if it's just a glance. His fleeting tenderness that day. It's probably also because of guilt. Because I want to cut off my kidney to save his most beloved person. Because I feel I am owed something. That's why. I thought about what my sister and mother said that day. Wait until the operation is completed. He divorced me and stayed with his sister.
Soon.
Shin Qingye, you don't have to force yourself to be nice to me against your will. I just want you to be healthy and happy. I want nothing more. 11. I was treated by a hospital nurse. He was wheeled away from the ward and taken to the operating room. Still no one came to see me. Along the way, I only heard the sound of wheels turning and rubbing on the ground. Don't know why. I'm still a little scared. I thought I was fearless. But we really have to face this moment. My hands actually trembled slightly. While waiting for the elevator, the nurse uncle wanted to say something. He wanted me to relax and relieve the tense atmosphere. So he looked at me and spoke. 小姑娘，你多大了？24. Oh, you're so young, as big as my daughter. Why did you become so seriously ill at such a young age? It makes people feel so sad. I gave him a smile. Isn't this an operation? After the operation, the disease will be cured. Yes, it will be fine after the surgery. He probably felt sad when he saw my look. After all, everyone was pushed into the operating room nervously surrounded by their family members. It's just me alone. Just think of it as a nap, little girl. Okay, thank you, uncle. I was taken to the operating room and lay side by side with Gu Yao. Mom and Dad were beside Gu Yao's bed, their eyes full of worry. Mom, Dad, I'm so scared. Gu Yao trembled and choked. The voices changed their tone. The parents were so distressed that they almost cried, and they couldn't bear to suffer on their daughter's behalf. Yao, honey, be good and just take a nap. The doctor said that once you get a kidney transplant, you'll be no different from a healthy person. Mother wiped the tears from the corners of Gu Yao's eyes. Trim her hair. Baby, Mommy is waiting for you outside. I watched their mother-daughter love. I was surprised in my heart that Shen Xingye didn't come. He should be keeping watch in the ward. You don't want to see me. I pinched my thighs with my hands. Force yourself not to cry. The surgical team is ready. It's time to enter the operating room. The family members should wait outside. The bed began to move again. Her mother held her sister's hand and cheered her on until the last second. We were wheeled into the operating room. The moment the door closes, I seem to hear my sister next to me say something to me. Thank you, man. Thank you for donating your kidney to me. I close my eyes. 不用谢. The anesthetic takes effect. I lost consciousness and fell asleep. 12. I woke up in a cot in an orphanage. It seemed like I had a long dream. I stretched a lot, watching my body shrink. It feels so amazing. The aunt from the orphanage came to see me. Congratulations on being adopted. She put on new clothes for me and took me to the reception room. I looked at the familiar face in front of me, jumping up with surprise and excitement. 奶奶. 是奶奶. Ignoring my aunt's obstruction, I rushed forward and hugged my grandma's legs. Grandma, I miss you so much. I finally see you again. I cried until I was out of breath. There are so many things I want to say to Grandma. Grandma, do you know? After you leave, I was found by my biological parents and brought home. I thought I was going to be loved. But this is just a conspiracy. The Gu family has long been engaged to the Shin family. Gu Yao and Shen Xingye were childhood sweethearts. They fell in love with each other and originally planned to get married after graduation. But there was a problem with the Shin family's business. Almost bankrupt. The Gu family couldn't shirk the marriage that the old men of the two families had agreed upon. I don't want my precious daughter to marry into the ruined Gu family and suffer hardship. They suddenly remembered the Gu family's lost second daughter. So I used all my connections and finally found me, who was living abroad. I watched my mother holding me and crying, saying, man, I finally found you. But I know. Mother, I haven't forgotten. It was you who took me to the amusement park, bought me a stick of ice cream, and then asked me to sit on a chair and wait for you to come back to pick me up. I kept waiting and waiting there. Wait until dark. Wait until all the parents around are leaving with their children. Mom hasn't come back yet. Later, I was sent to an orphanage. I cried and struggled. I don't want to go. I want to wait for my mother. My mother said she'll come back to pick me up. The children around me pointed at me and laughed loudly. Your mother doesn't even want you, and you're still talking in your sleep. My mother don't want me anymore. I gradually accepted this fact. Life in the orphanage was difficult. I am thin and small, and I don't like to talk. I was always bullied by other children. That was it until I was taken away by my grandma. Grandma is very good to me. Her daughter died in an accident. Grandma's conditions were not good, but she gave everything to me. We stayed together in that small house of 30 square meters. Grandma made so many delicious things for me. I went out with her to pick up trash and rags. Although life is hard, but very happy, Grandma raised me up until I can go to school. I haven't graduated yet. My grandma became seriously ill and passed away, leaving me forever. I haven't made much money yet. I haven't bought my grandma a big house yet so that she can live in a room with heating and air conditioning. That way those hands won't get frostbite. It won't be all cracked. After Grandma left, I started working to take care of myself. It didn't take long for the Gu family to find him and take him home. I thought, I want to be loved. But they only love their sister. It's like a stranger to me. Not even a little love is willing to be given to me. Fortunately, I met Shen Xingye. His appearance, it seems to have become my salvation. But fate never seems to favor me. He doesn't love me. He loves his sister. No one loves me. No one. In a trance. The corals around me pulled me out of my dream. I'm in a dream. My life has been passing like a revolving door. I weakly opened my eyes. Seeing that Dr. Zhao, who was keeping calm, failed to control his emotions for the first time, he quarreled with my parents. Are you still human? Gu Man is almost dead, and you still keep asking how Gu Yao is doing? I tell you, the operation was successful. Gu Yao survived. The one who is dying now is Gu Man. How could it be possible? Ordinary people can survive even if they lose one kidney. That's right. Don't try to trick us. Gu Man's other kidney has failed. She donated the healthy one to Gu Yao. She won't survive. 13. Why do I feel like I'm floating in midair? Isn't the operation already completed? I looked at myself lying on the operating table. There was blood all over him. I seemed to be dead. I watched my sister being wheeled out of the operating room. I saw my parents' stunned expressions after hearing what Dr. Zhao said. After seeing Gu Yao, he regained his excitement. In a trance, I seemed to see Qingye. I saw him saying to me, 等我回来. Sorry, Qingye. I can't wait for you any longer. I smiled. He waved to himself, lying on the hospital bed. Goodbye. This world. Don't be a human again in your next life. It's really hard. 14. My wife. My beloved wife, Gu Man. Dead. Died from massive hemorrhage after donation surgery. At that time, I just got off the plane and received the news of her death. I don't know how I rolled and crawled all the way to the hospital. Asked her to wait for my return. But she was disobedient. When I saw her again, her whole body was covered with white cloth. I couldn't believe it and lifted the white cloth tremblingly. I saw that familiar face that I loved so much that it turned pale. I held Man's body. Roared. No one around dared to come near me. How so? I just went on a business trip. Why did Man leave me when I came back? I picked her up. She is so light. It seemed like there was only a handful of bones left. When we first met, she is still a healthy and lively little girl. The little face is chubby and the eyebrows are curved when he smiles. Much like a cunning kitten. But I didn't love her at that time. Even very annoying. Gu Yao and I were childhood sweethearts, and I thought I would hold her hand and walk to the wedding hall. But Gu Man's appearance disrupted everything. She was admitted back home. She seems to like me very much. But all I see is Gu Yao. That day I was drugged and had sex with Man at Gu's house. A woman like her who uses despicable means. He is the person I hate and hate the most in my life. Out of responsibility, I was forced to marry Gu Man. Start there. I never looked her in the eye. But she acted as if nothing happened. Since marrying into the Gu family, she planted flowers in the yard and installed a swing. Make me a delicious meal. Make the villa beautiful. Her arrival makes this place full of life. At that time, I was in the most critical period of starting a business. I often get drunk for socializing. No matter what time I get home, there is always a cup of warm honey water on the table. There's still some meals that haven't cooled down yet. And on the sofa, waiting for me until Man fell asleep holding a pillow. Since when did my heart begin to melt? I can't remember clearly. Perhaps it was at that time that I was seriously injured due to a conspiracy. She went to Kowtow to ask for the protective safety buckle for me. The moment I woke up, I saw her lying on my bed. Deep blood marks on forehead. I discovered this woman named Gu Man. It seemed to slowly take over my heart. 18. Things got completely out of control. It started that day. That night, Uncle Gu invited me in his name. Wait until I get to the private room. Found that only Gu Yao was inside. Since marrying Man, I abide by my duty as a husband. I have never done anything inappropriate to Gu Yao again. Gu Yao drank too much. He hugged me when he came up. She said, Qingye, I love you so much. After seeing Man and I getting married, she became very painful. She wishes we could go back in time. Back when we loved each other. I pushed her away. I thought I loved Gu Yao deeply. But when she held me, all I could think about was the one at home. Man has a wrinkled face. After I rejected Gu Yao many times. She lost control of her emotions instantly. She asked me if I had learned the truth. Only then would he reject her and stop loving her. The truth? Having experienced the bloody storm in the shopping mall, I grasped the key in an instant, inducing Gu Yao to tell the whole truth. It turns out that Man and I slept together. It wasn't like she drugged me. It was a plan designed by Gu's father and Gu's mother together. At that time, the Gu family's business was in crisis. The Gu family doesn't want Gu Yao to marry me. He designed me to sleep with Gu Man. Had to marry her. Replaced Gu Yao with Man. Gu Yao held my hand. Told me she only loved me and could let the mistake go now. We're back together. I sneered. Yeah, 19. I know what the Gu family means. During this period, I successfully reversed the crisis of the family company group. The shares of the new companies created skyrocketed as soon as they went public. For a time, I became the most popular upstart in Beijing. Gu Yao's parents saw that our Gu family was back on its feet and richer than before. Then I came up with the idea of divorcing Man Man and me. Let Gu Yao marry me again. That night, I drank a lot of wine. The shame of being fooled by the Gu family made me lose control of my emotions. When Man Man came over to persuade me to drink less, I pushed her away. She hit the corner of the table. There was a lot of blood flowing down the body. I woke up instantly and rushed to the hospital with her in my arms like crazy. She is so light, so thin. How could so much blood flow out? The doctor told me she had a miscarriage. It was a fetus that was more than 3 months old and already in shape. My and Man Man's child. It is the bond between us in this world. But I failed to protect him. I hate myself so much. Obviously knowing that Man Man Duo wants a child. I wish I could make up for all my childhood regrets on my baby. I hate myself for not seeing that Man Man is pregnant. Error 500, server error. 1500, that's an error. There was an error. Please try again later, that's all we know. I have always found that in the past 3 months, she has often suffered from nausea and vomiting and has been unable to eat. I still force myself to drink those bitter tonics. The body is getting thinner and thinner, but he became more gentle and firm. But at that time, I was totally focused on my work. He didn't even notice her unusual changes. 20. Because of my mistake, let Man Man lose our child. Since then, she became unusually silent. A lively and cute little girl, always lying by the window in a daze, losing weight day by day. Ever since she was often called home by her father and mother. Come back every time. She became more silent and vulnerable. I didn't know that at that time. The Gu family asked Gu Yao to marry me in order to get her a divorce. How many dirty things have been done? Gu Yao fabricated the story that she and I had rekindled our old relationship. She told Man Man our story vividly. I didn't realize the change in Man Man. That day, I got a call from the kidnapper. They were underworld thugs brought in by my business rivals. On the phone, they said they kidnapped Gu Yao. If I don't go there myself, they were about to cut off Gu Yao's hand. After all, she and I have known each other since childhood. I won't just watch her get hurt because of me. After all, this matter has nothing to do with her. I picked up the car keys and ran towards the address given by the kidnapper. I didn't care that Man Man followed me and got into the car. 21. The kidnapper's main target was me. They came after seeing me. Used Gu Yao to force me to submit. They kicked me to the knees, and I fell to my knees. The moment he saw the kidnapper raise his knife, I was about to fight back. I saw Gu Yao rushing up to help me block the knife. The kidnapper stabbed Gu Yao in the arm. When the police arrived, I hugged Gu Yao and walked out. Man Man was not found in the chaotic dispute just now. Also injured. The kidnapper's final struggle. A knife stabbed her in the stomach. 22. I stayed at Gu Yao's hospital bed. Learn it from the doctor's mouth. Gu Yao has uremia. She must have a kidney transplant immediately, otherwise her life will be in danger. Gu's father and mother heard the news. Almost fainted. That time. I didn't know that Man Man was also rescued in this hospital. In order to repay Gu Yao's life-saving grace, I put her in touch with the best doctors in the world. Try to help her find a kidney source for transplant. I went to the hospital many times to see her. Man Man also saw it. I wanted to explain to her that day. For Gu Yao, I only feel guilty for my savior. No other distractions. But Man Man didn't hear what I said, turned around, and left. 23. I have no idea. The Gu family is so cruel. Man Man is asked to donate a kidney to Gu Yao. They hide it so deeply. That day Man Man came to the company to see me and handed over my security card. It should be when I went to visit Gu Yao. Accidentally forgot it there. I want to explain. But damn, at that time we had a big client that we had been fighting for a long time. Finally agreed to cooperate with us. Just get that client. Our company will establish a firm foothold in Beijing. I asked Man Man to wait for me. Wait until I come back from abroad. Let's start over. We will live happily. There will also be a baby. I want to give the best things in the world to my wife. My child. I want to spend the rest of my life. To heal Man Man's painful childhood. I want to stand by her side. Tell her, don't be afraid, I'm here. But all this happened when I received the call about Man Man's death. Dissipated. 24. I hold Man Man's ashes. I stayed in the house for 7 days and nights. Until I was interrupted by a knock on the door from my assistant. Under my instruction, he went to investigate the truth about Gu Yao's kidnapping. It turns out that this is a cruel trick used by the Gu family. They hired someone to kidnap Gu Yao and then asked Gu Yao to save my life. Thought I would just be grateful to be with her. I didn't expect them to be so cruel. He also wanted to take the opportunity to kill Man Man. They didn't succeed. It was accidentally discovered that Gu Yao had uremia. He also forced Man Man to donate a kidney to her. These two old things. I clenched my fists, touching Man Man's ashes. Say it softly. Don't worry, baby. I will help you get revenge. 25. The Gu family had an accident on a cruise ship. The two fell into the sea, and their bodies were gone. Gu Yao, the daughter of the Gu family, also went crazy under the severe stimulation. Spent the rest of his life in a mental hospital. I scattered Man Man's ashes into the sea, set her free completely. Then he jumped. Man Man, don't be afraid. I'm here to accompany you. With me here, you will never be lonely again.